and a wonderful good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on our respective locations. My name is Mohammed Mustafa from University Science Malaysia, and inshallah today I would be moderating this very important session. The session, as you can rightly see on my screen, is PSI 6th anniversary celebration webinar. And this webinar is very important to us as a platform for us to actually share with you what we have achieved for these six years of existence. I would like to welcome our dignitaries, very important personalities that join us from all over the world. And I believe at the end of the session, all of us will have a lot to benefit from the wealth of experience from these important personalities. Just to set some ground rules, this webinar is going to be recorded. So at the end of the day, each and every one of us will have access to the recording. And if you have any questions during the presentation, you can drop it in the chat box. We have personnel that will be monitoring the chat box, though at the end of the session, we'll have a separate question and answer session. And so also, if you have any feedback, you can send to our emails. Our email is pharmacyscholarinitiative@gmail.com. And there are a lot of materials also on our website, the previous recordings of our events, all the activities that I've been doing for 6 years can be located in the website. The website is www.pharmacyscholarinitiative.weebly.com. Now, this PSI anniversary webinar is being organized to celebrate our 6 years of existence as a research and mentorship platform. And we have in our midst quite a number of important personalities, and we welcome all of them, and we believe they have a lot to share with all of us. So we try as much as possible to give them the audience so that we can all benefit together. Now we have a very straight and clear theme for this year's 6th anniversary. The theme is the role of research in pharmacy regulation. So this is just the summary of the program of events. Inshallah, we are going to start with a welcome address, which will be given by our president and the founder of PSI, Dr. Ibrahim Jato, and then followed by remarks by the chairman of this occasion in person of Prof. Ahmed Tijani Moura, OON, MNI, and the immediate past chairman of the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. Inshallah, the next after that is going to be a lecture. We have 2 lectures. The first lecture is titled The Role of Pharmacy, the Role of Research in Pharmacy Regulation. And this will be delivered by pharmacist Ibrahim Babashir Ahmad, who is the current registrar and CEO of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. And then we're going to have another lecture, which will last about 20 minutes, the application of social media in research. And this is going to be delivered by Associate Professor Kainde O. Obamiro from James Cook's University, Queensland, Australia. So thereafter, we have some recognitions we're going to award some certificates to our dignitaries and some important personalities and also members of PSI that have achieved some milestone during the course of this our existence. So thereafter, we'll have question and answer, and closing remarks will be given by pharmacist Abubakar Isa Musa. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our chairman. I hope our chairman is already there. Sir, you are most welcome. So also the registrar, pharmacist Ibrahim Babashir, you are most welcome, sir. And then Professor Kainde, you are all most welcome. So without further ado, I would like to call upon Dr. Ibrahim Jato, to give the welcome address. Thank you so much.
Good day, everyone. Let me share my slides. Good day, everyone. Depending from where you are, my name is Ibrahim, and I'm the president and founder of Pharmacy Scholars Initiative, which was formerly known as Young Pharmacy Scholars. As you all know, that we started as Young Pharmacy Scholars, and as time goes on, we find out that most of us are no longer young, and even during the registration with CAC, the name couldn't scale through. So we ended off with Pharmacy Scholars Initiative. So I'm here this morning to share what this forum is all about, what we have been doing, and what we have achieved so far. Sorry. So, as rightly said from the beginning, the whole idea about PSI is about mentoring. And you all know that a mentoring is a crucial component of success in all aspects of our life, especially those of us who are into research or with strong interest about research. So at PSI, we recognize the value of mentoring as a very key element of our vision toward making a difference in professional development for pharmacists. So the program was created out of the need to mentor our upcoming scholars in the area of research and career development. We found out that if you look at some countries in other parts of the world, who I could say they are our mates in terms of Nigeria as a country, so you realize that most of them are very far ahead of us in terms of research awareness. So this informed our need to form this forum so that we can coach and mentor those who have interest in research so that they can be experts and help themselves and the community. So the initial step to where we are today, mentoring has been a driver for all our activities, from research collaboration to the webinar we have today. So PSI, like I said in the beginning, PSI is a not-for-profit research mentoring forum, and it started in December 2017. Like I said, we just realized that there is a very wide gap in our upcoming researchers in terms of research awareness, and even if you have done the research, how to communicate the research to the larger society is part of the major challenges we find out. So we group ourselves and then say, okay, how can we do it? And then there we are today. We form PSI and we do a lot of things, and we mentor a lot of upcoming researchers. And today we could say, today we can see what we are celebrating: 6 years of consistent mentoring activity. So currently the forum is registered with Corporate Affairs Commission, meaning we are single legal personalities. So what we normally do is, like I mentioned before, we mentor upcoming scholars on research and career development through most of our series of activities, including collaborative research. Like we always said, we learn more by practicing. So we teach or we mentor research through through practice. So we normally initiate collaborative research. Through the research, that's where we now use the opportunity to teach our upcoming scholars or our members on how to initiate the research ideas, how to conduct the research, how to write the research, to report the research, and then how to publish the research and present it at the conference. So it's like stage by stage. And we have been doing this consistently from inception to date. And then we also do our conference presentation, where the research findings we had from our collaborative research Then any of our members, most officially the ones who have less experience, we coach them and then we ask them to go and represent the findings on our behalf. And through the presentation, this is where they normally get to learn and have confidence on public presentation. We also do hands-on training where we organize some workshops and then we have our member, and most time when we are doing the hands-on training, we even invite members of the public. Thereby, we show them how to do a lot of scientific methods practically. And just recently, we used one about on use of Google Trends to conduct research. And I think even after the hands-on training, one of the scholars from University of Science Malaysia even reached out to me and Abubakar Shaban, like he was so inspired and he has some research ideas that he think he can perform a research using Google Trends. And behold, we asked him to go and develop a research proposal, which he actually done it. We went through it and that, and at the moment he's going there conducting the research. So just to show you how widespread our impact is. And then we also conduct webinars. Initially, we used to do it weekly, but as time goes on, because of most of us are very busy members, so we make it bi-weekly. And then we also do it quarterly, like after every 3 months. So we invite some international experts to share their knowledge on a trending research topic. And the annual webinar is what we are witnessing today. We have done that in 2018, 19, 2020 because of COVID, and then 2021, 22, 23, that's what we are doing today. And then this is in addition to the daily engagement of on the platform. That's through WhatsApp. We know WhatsApp is more common among our people, so that's what we exploit to be sharing knowledge and opportunities on the platform, which is mostly on a daily basis. And we also do research engagement. As scholars, we all know that we have some things that we have to pay back to the community. So we mostly share our research findings that we feel the community needs to know and need to take action from their own end. So sometimes we do radio call-in programs where we do the program and people will call in from the community and ask questions. And what we normally do is on drug abuse, which we have some heaps of drugs on research on drug abuse, on rational use of drugs. And in that case, I think even my mother joined one of the program. We also do career guidance one-on-one and sometimes on the group. And then, so I will show you who our members are. At the moment, we have like 41 active members on the platform. And these are people who are Nigerians, some practicing in Nigeria, some practicing in other parts of the world. And some they are currently studying, some are doing postgraduate PhDs, masters, some are doing West African fellowship, and a lot of practice in, I could say, in all aspects of pharmacy and public health. I will show you our members at the end of this presentation. So through all this thing we are doing, at least I should share some of achievement we did in just this year, because if I could say I should share our achievement from inception to date, I'll take the whole time talking. So since this is a 6th anniversary for 2023, so I will share with us what we have achieved in this year. Let me start with winning a research grant, which this is the first external grant we won by one of the research group in PSI and led by Dr. Basira Lawal Kankia, who won 1.5 million naira from the African Center of Excellence for Population Health and Policy. For their office is based in BUK, and through a very highly competitive pitch competition, which we won, and alhamdulillah, we are still conducting the research. And many thanks to Dr. Kankia for leading the medicine disposal research group to win the award. And then, and the second achievement we have, we do the collaborative research, which I mentioned at the beginning. We teach our members through collaborative research. And in this year, we restructure, or we have a module of collaborative research. And one of the research group conducted a research on application of nanofibers drug delivery system in cancer therapy. This is a very immersive review of the literature, and there is the paper was published in a Q1 journal with impact factor of 5.0. And this research was led by Dr. Nafiu Aminu, who is from a senior lecturer from Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. And we also have another research that was conducted and published in January 2023. We just realized that in up north, there's a lot of high rate of using traditional medicines to increase sexual performance among both male and female. And we now say, okay, there was not much reported about this ongoing thing. And we need to know from the evidence what is going on, what people are taking the most frequent traditional medicine. So we went into research, and the research was led by Dr. Abubakar Eswada. And I'm happy to share with you that this research is also published by a Q1 journal and with impact factor of 5.9. Those in the academia know the big things about this. So we also have PSI inspired research, and this is research that's not conducted primarily on the PSI platform, but the members who are inspired to go and to conduct a research on their own colleagues. Most of them are members of the PSI, and most of them also I think there's one by Awolu Bala, who they did a systematic review on preclinical efficacy of African medicinal plants used in the treatment of snake bite envenoming. A systematic review, and it was led by Awolu Bala. And there's another one which I led. It is a book chapter with me, Abubakar Shaban, and Fatima Awal, and it's a book chapter. And many thanks to Professor Awoisu for making a head in this writing. And then we have the one that we have in this December that's published. It was research led by also the same Nafiu Aminu. It's on pharmaceutical steroid formulation, and most of the members are PSI members also. So another achievement is what I initially mentioned, the biweekly webinar, which I could say we have 80% success rate of biweekly webinars. And we have a lot of them. One of the most interesting one, that is one by Dr. Obaka Estambata, a lot of them, just to share the flyers to see what's. The latest one is the one by artificial intelligence by Dr. Abubakar Gulma. And another achievement is the quarterly webinar, which I could say we have achieved 100% success. And the one we had is why we invited Dr. Abubakar Falaki. And then we have the one by Professor Long Ming, who is an associate dean and professor in Sunway University now. And then we have another one by one of our colleagues in King's College London, Dr. Godwin Aleku. And then we also have the annual webinars where we normally use the opportunity to make it an anniversary for us. We started in 2018 in the collaboration with BUK. Many thanks to BUK management, especially Professor Bashir Chedi, who was the one who gave us 100% support to conduct the webinar, the seminar then, because it was face to face, and it was chaired by our grand patron, Professor Eti Mora, and it was well attended by many thanks to the participants. And in 2019 also we had another one in the same BUK. Like I say, 2020, we all know what happened with COVID. And then in 2021, we have another one by Professor Awesu, who was one of our special guests. And then Dr. Philip Adu from the United States, who was also another one of the lecturers. And then as that, he has always been with us. He was there 2021, Professor Eti Mora. And then another one we have by Dr. Abubakar Araka, who was one of our guests. And then Dr. Timothy Kujiat from UK, who was part of the speakers. And then as well, Professor Mora was the chairman then. And then today we are witnessing another very important and interesting webinar to celebrate PSI 6 years anniversary, and with one of our daddy as well, pharmacist Ibrahim Shehu, Baba Shehu, sorry, who is the current registrar and CEO of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. And I can tell you Baba Shehu has been with us from day one, because the time we founded the forum, I consulted him and said, sir, this is what we have, and we need your blessing and your guidance. And Babasho has been guiding us and giving us ideas and advices from inception to date. And today we are having as our keynote address speaker. And we have Associate Professor Kendi Obamiro, who is the Associate Professor at Johns Cook University. Professor Kendi is vast in research, in clinical research, and in public health practice. And he has been with me from ABU, and we joined also in University of Tasmania in Hobart before he left to James Cook University. And then, as always, he has always been with us. Professor Ahmed Mora, he's always been with us from 2017 to date. Every day, anytime we call on him, he's always there to support us physically, morally, and otherwise. Thank you so much, Prof, for all your support. And thank you so much. And I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate our members who obtained PhD in 2023, and also Dr. Kabir Abubakar Gruma, who was promoted to the position of Associate Professor by the University of Gambia. And then there's one of us, Dr. Fatima Kulfi, who is been appointed by the Governor of Katsina State as the Executive Secretary, Katsina State Drug and Medical Supply Agency. You guys are wonderful, and you are well representing us in this space. Congratulations. Let me just use a few seconds of your time to address or to show you our members. Please, just some few seconds. We have Saeed Burji, who is at the staff of Pharmacy Council. We have Kaulat. We have Abubakar Sadiq Wada, Julde, Abubakar Nur Abdullahi, Mustafa, who is at USM, Mubarak, Fatima, Baraka, Zayanu, Awal Bala, Abubakar Isa, Ambasira Kankia, Ibrahim Malemi, Nambata, Abubakar Musa, Bilyaminu, Al-Qasim, and Hadiza Yusuf, Abubakar Shaban, Sagir Mustafa, Nafi Aminu, Professor Gurma, Hajia Hafsat, and myself. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you best in your life. And I welcome you to our 6th anniversary webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abubakar Ibrahim Jato, for this wonderful and comprehensive summary of what Pharmacy Scholars Initiative is all about. I believe this short briefing is really inspiring, and I would like to particularly appreciate Dr. Abubakar Jato for standing very strong. He has actually been the key person in all these successes. We thank you, sir, and we believe we are going to achieve more together with your commitment and the commitment of all members of PSI. So without wasting so much time, I would like to call upon our grand patron, who is the chairman of today's occasion. This is nobody but somebody well respected in the space of pharmacy in Nigeria and beyond. This person is not any other person than Professor Ahmed Tijani Mora, OON, MNI, and the immediate past chairman of the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. Sir, you are most welcome.
So I think before allow Prof to make his remark, let me tell who Professor Mora is. Professor Mora, as you can see on the screen, was born on 13 May 1956 from Zaria, Kaduna State, and he attended, among others in Nigeria, the prestigious Barewa College and Ahmadu Bello University. And then Professor Mora is he has held so many traditional titles. Among them is the Kaya and Sarki Muslimi, and he has rendered over 3 decades of meritorious and infallible service to the pharmacy profession, which cannot be overemphasized. He was the prime mover behind Zarinjet disposable syringes and needles, and largest disposable syringe manufacturing company in West Africa. And this is just for Zarinjet, and I can tell you that Professor Mora is also the person behind the establishment of a syringe manufacturing company, I think, in Akwa Ibom. and many other consultancy services in Africa for syringe manufacturing. And he proposed and saw the fruition of the publication of the 4-part compendium of minimum standards of practice and for the assurance of pharmaceutical care in Nigeria. This is a very must-have book that you must have as a pharmacist in Nigeria. The compendium was the first of its kind, which served as a benchmark of quality and excellence in pharmacy education in Nigeria. And the 4-part compendium is also the first published book of its kind by any of the health regulatory agency in the history of healthcare regulations in Nigeria. He significantly broadened the scope of pharmacy profession under the aegis of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. And I can tell you, Professor Mura is 2 times Registrar of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria before becoming the chairman. While he was the registrar, he championed the successful transformation of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria during his time through his dedication, effective foresight, and measurable results which need no bounds. His appointment to run for a higher position was therefore foreseeable. The Kayan Sarki Muslimi is a receiver of numerous awards and a fellowship to fit his charismatic personality. Eminent Persons Award of the Nigerian Association of Industrial Pharmacists in 1988, Award of Benefactor of the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, ABU Zaria in 2004, Pharmaceutical Leadership Award of African Executive for the year 2019 by the African Leadership Magazine, Golden Leadership Icon Award by Presidential Dairy Magazine. He was also nominated as the most distinguished alumnus in the history of the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, ABU Zaria, at the 50th anniversary celebration of ABU in 2012. He is the Fellow of Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Fellow West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, Fellow Institute of Healthcare Management of Nigeria. He attended more than 270 conferences, workshops, seminars, and symposiums from 1988 to date in Nigeria and abroad. He has authored and co-authored 9 books, I could say plus, books that have been published with ISBN. He also edited more than 20 books, most of which are geared toward the advancement of pharmacy profession. I'll welcome to you. A million words will not suffice to describe the immense support of Kayan Sarki Muslimi rendered to the Pharmacy Scholarship Initiative from its inception to date. We are thankful to appreciate all what you have done to us. To the pharmacy, to the PSI, he will remain an embodiment of wisdom, kindness, and perfection. Let us welcome our father of the day, Professor A.T. Mora, B.Pharm, MBA, PhD, MNI, and the rest. Thank you, sir, and you are welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ibrahim Jato. I believe if Dr. Prof. Ahmed Tijani Mora is online, we can unmute him so that he can make his speech.
I think let me share his slides. Is he there?
No, we cannot.
Hello, Prof.
Dr. Jata, are you sharing anything?
Yes, I'm sharing his speech.
Okay, but we cannot see.
Okay, it's preparing.
All right.
Is it there now?
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Can we, then he can join when he.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, Prof.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How are you?
We are doing very fine, sir.
Okay. It's a pleasure to be here once again. Actually, I'm here in Bingham University in Nasarawa, Karu, for a meeting of the Conference of Alumni Association of Nigerian Universities. This is just a good setting because 2 years ago in 2021, I recall that when I chaired the 2021 edition of the meeting, I was at Nnamdi Azikiwe University for a similar function. So
Yes,
it pleases Almighty Allah that we're here today. It is a pleasure for me to once again be called upon by the Pharmacy Scholars Initiative under the leadership of Dr. Ibrahim Jato Abubakar to chair this webinar conference. This is the sixth in the series of the annual physical or virtual conference of the PSI, and in each case, I was given the honor and privilege to chair, for which I'm very grateful. I recall that in 2021, and precisely on Saturday, 4th December 2021, the topic was research in pharmacy, exploring the frontiers of academic and qualitative research. The 2022 edition of the annual conference had as its topic, bridging pharmaceutical research outcomes for impactful government policies in low and medium income countries. And that took place on the 18th of December, 2022. Today's topic, role of research in pharmacy regulation, is yet another topical one to explore. Hitherto, one area that has not been paid enough attention by pharmacists or pharmaceutical scientists. I congratulate Dr. Abubakar and the members of the executive committee of the PSI on this day. As I've always said, these conferences by PSI are educative as they are informative, surely when viewed from the novelty of their topics all these past years. In commending the leadership of PSI on the choice of the topic, they have similarly invited the right person at this moment as a keynote address speaker, in the person of pharmacist Ibrahim Babashehu Ahmed, the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. Associate Professor Kehinde Obamiro of James Cook University, Queensland, Australia, will be the guest speaker, and that appears a perfect match from the regulatory and the research perspective of the pharmacy regulation. When we talk about pharmacy regulation in Nigeria, we are indeed talking about the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, whose mandate as per the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria Establishment Act of 2022 gives the council the mandate to regulate and control pharmacy education and training, as well as practices in all aspects and ramifications among other functions in Nigeria. Pharmacy regulation in Nigeria started in 1927 with the Board of Medical Examiners. However, the British colonial administration in Nigeria specifically established the Pharmacy Board of Nigeria in 1936 to address the issue of regulation and control of education and practices of pharmacy profession in those times. By 1964, fresh from gaining independence from England, the Pharmacy Board of Nigeria was established, which lasted till 1992. The military government promulgated the famous Decree 91 of 1992 that established the Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, thereby repealing the Pharmacists Board of Nigeria. In August of 2022, that is some 30 years after the existence of the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, the Pharmacy Council Establishment Act was signed by former President Muhammadu Buhari into law. The regulation and control of the pharmacy education and training, as well as its practice, has therefore been existing in Nigeria for 96 years, that is 1927 to date. Today, we'll hear from the regulatory body and from the university the role of research in pharmacy regulation. With these few words, as opening remarks, it is my pleasure to once again welcome you all to this webinar conference organized by the leadership of the Pharmacy Scholars Initiative. Thank you for listening and for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you so much, Prof, for this wonderful opening remarks. Indeed, Prof has been very instrumental. He has been very supportive in terms of all what we need as Pharmacy Scholars Initiative. And Prof has been very solid, and he has contributed a lot in the transformations that we see back in Nigeria in pharmacy. So we really
Thank you
appreciate
very much.
Prof for this motivation, and we hope to continue to get more mentorship as usual. You're always there for us, and we hope to commit in continue reaching out to you in all circumstances that we need your support. Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. My pleasure. Anytime. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. So, without further ado, I would like to uh, invite the next speaker. So we're going to start with the first lecture, the role of research in pharmacy regulation. And this topic is going to be delivered by pharmacist Ibrahim Babashir Ahmad, who is the registrar and CEO of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. But I believe before calling on pharmacist Ibrahim Babashihu, Dr. Ibrahim Jato, do we have any citation? Or
Yes, I already shared.
okay. So we would like to get the citation, then pharmacist Ibrahim Babashihu will take over and make his presentation.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to read the citation of Ibrahim Babashihu Ahmed. Dr. Jato, please, next slide. Ibrahim Babashihu Ahmed, FPSN CAI, is the Registrar, Secretary of the Governing Council, Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. Until his appointment as Registrar, he was the Director and Head of Planning, Research and Statistics Department at the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria Head Office. Prior to this, he held several positions in the service of PCN, including being a member of the management team since 2004, till his assumption of duty as the Registrar. In the PCN, he served as Chief Pharmacist and was Head of Department, Registration and Licensing from 2004 to 2009, and Deputy Director and Pioneer Zonal Officer in charge, PCN Abuja Zonal Office. While he served as Head of PR Department, he got promoted to the rank of Director with effect from January 2013. At various times, he served as Head of Secretariat for many strategic ad hoc committees of PCN. He was awarded. Before joining the PCN in 2004, he was with Niger State Service, where he rose through the ranks from pharmacist grade 1 in 1994 to the position of an assistant chief pharmacist. During this period, he served in various hospitals in the state. At different times, he was posted to General Hospital Mopa, Rural Hospital Agayi, and later General Hospital Mina with a stint at the Central Medical Stores. He went through these positions with calmness, maturity, and focus. He was awarded Fellow of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria in 2015 and Fellow of the Nigeria Academy of Pharmacy in 2022. He has served the PSN in various capacities, such as council member, member of various committees of PSN National, Chairman Electoral Committee in 2 previous annual national conferences, 2018 and 2021, where elections were held for the position of President of PSN, alongside other members of the Executive Committee, an assignment which he delivered with his team excellently. He is a recipient of the Distinguished Service Award of the Association of Hospital and Administrative Pharmacists in 2015, Excellent Service Award, as well as Appreciation Award, all given by Association of Hospital and Administrative Pharmacists in 2018 and 2021. As a fellow of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists for 17 years, he is a resource person for Part 2 students of the college. He has also supervised several dissertations for students of the WAPCP, leading to award of fellowship, and has been a preceptor for pharmacy residency program in the PCN. He is also a fellow of the Institute of Corporate Administration of Nigeria and has served as a resource person for the African Continental Free Area stakeholders in the business service sector, healthcare. Pharmacist Ibrahim Babashew Ahmed has attended several courses both locally and internationally, including ASCON's Advanced Management course, Executive Management course of the West African Management Development Institute's network, programs of the Center for Management Development, Executive Strategy Program of the Lagos Business School, Quality Service Delivery and Acculturation also of the Lagos Business School, Leadership and Management in Health of the University of Washington, Policy Development and Advocacy for Global Health and Monitoring and Evaluation for Global Health, both at the University of Washington, Strategic Management and Leadership in Health of the Amref International University, Nairobi, Kenya. He has participated in trainings on human resource for health, supply chain management,
I think Doctor has network challenges. Let me. I think let me continue. Aja.
Yeah,
So,
I think that
yes.
continue.
So the registrar has participated in the development of several national policy for the federal government, such as the National Health Policy, the National Drug Distribution Guidelines, National Vaccine Policy, Snake Bite Policy, Human Resources for Health Policy, among others, along with the Federal Ministry of Health. Afam Ahmed has been head of pharmacies for the Federal and National Medical Team for Hajj for several years with the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria since 2009. Pharmacist Babashew is a pharmacist consultant and administrator who also holds Master of Business Administration from National Open University of Nigeria. He is married to Hajia Rekia Ibrahim Baba and blessed with 6 children. Let me welcome our registrar to this webinar.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abubakar Ibrahim Jato, and of course, Dr. Basira Kankia for that wonderful introduction. So if Dr. Pharmacist Ibrahim Babashew is online, can we unmute him? So while waiting for the registrar to start, I would like to remind us that the session is recorded and is going to be available on our website. So towards the end of this session, we're going to share attendance form where you fill with your email. So we send you out all the resources that have been used during the course of the meeting today.
Good day. I'm here.
All right, sir. You can start, sir. I've projected the slides.
It's okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Ibrahim Jato.
All right, sir.
And Dr. Basira for that introduction. I feel very highly impressed. To be a keynote speaker at today's event. I've not seen the slide yet, but I think I can begin to speak to my slides from here. It's not yet on the screen.
Yeah, but he can still go ahead. We can all see.
Yes, you can still go ahead, sir.
It's okay. Thank you very much. I want to pay special respect to the Grand Patron, Professor Ahmed Mora Kaya Yensakim Muslimi, who has actually laid the foundation to the topic that I will be speaking to. I'm happy when he said that When we talk about pharmacy regulation in Nigeria, we'll be talking about the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. And you can see that clearly in my presentation. Because of time and the fact that I'm also on my way to the airport, I don't want a situation where network will be a challenge. I want us to start with the first slide, which is the outline. I believe you already have it on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. After the outline, we'll be going to the fourth slide, where
Yes,
I attempted to define regulation. And
yes, sir,
according to Oxford, and according to Oxford Learners Dictionary, regulation is defined as an official rule made by a government or an authority. Merriam-Webster Dictionary also define regulation as a rule or order telling how something is to be done. Having done that, lay that foundation, let's now shift to our main topic for today, which is pharmacy regulation, before we eventually link it to research. Now, pharmacy regulation is, by extension, the rules made by government telling how things should be done in the pharmaceutical space. In other words, pharmacy regulation refers to the set of rules, laws, and standards that govern the practice of pharmacy to ensure the safety and well-being of patients. I'm sure that speak to pharmacy regulation. Now, let's link research and regulation. Research is a scholarly or scientific investigation or inquiry, and it plays a crucial role in the formulation, modification, and implementation of regulations across various industries. This is what interests regulatory agency, and in particular, pharmacy regulation. Now, what is the importance of research in regulation? It helps in development of effective and evidence-based regulatory framework. It also helps in identifying, understanding potential risks associated with certain activities, products, or processes. It also provides empirical evidence for policy making utilized by regulatory agencies to set standards and guidelines. Now, it also helps regulatory agencies to keep abreast of new developments, emerging technologies, and potential hazards that may arise in the course of various operations, and it supports the development of tools and methodologies for monitoring and enforcing regulations. Regulators use the research findings to establish benchmarks and criteria against which compliance can be measured. Now, focusing on the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, the definition and the role of the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria had earlier been taken by the Grand Patron, who is the chairman of today's occasion. So I want to shift from that to save time. I'll move from that slide to the next one, and that has to do with the initiative that PCN has taken to reform regulation through research efforts. Now, what are those things that we have done prior to now as a regulatory agency that appreciates the role of research? One, I need to state the fact that the PCN as an organization exists on a structure that is approved by the government, by the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation. And among that, in that structure, we have 9 departments, we have 6 units, We have 8 zonal offices. We have 35 state offices. In this structure, the department called Planning, Research and Statistics is that department that coordinates issues about research, meaning that for a regulatory agency to give the right consideration in terms of the place of research in regulation, it must have a structure that connects the activity of that organization, the regulatory agency, to research. In the PCN, that coordination is undertaken by the Planning, Research and Statistics, with the registrar serving as a guiding, providing leadership in that direction. Now, what have we done from that with that department and as PCN to influence what we are doing? The regulation we are doing. One, we usually receive proposals from the universities where people who are undertaking research for award of higher degrees who intend to work with our stakeholders, sometimes the community pharmacies, sometimes doing some research on human resource for health. They write to us to seek our approval to work with these people and also give the letters of introduction. We do that, and we always request that we always grant those approval on the condition that at the end of the research, the outcome should be shared with us so that it can help us to modify what we are currently doing. In addition to that, as an institution that is conscious of the place of research, we also had written in 2019 to National Health Research Ethics Committee for the establishment of an institutional, for the approval as well as establishment of an institutional review board, which is the ethical committee of the council. However, in the wisdom of NREC, it was advised that as a regulatory body, we shouldn't have an IRP. If at all we are going to do any research, it's better we work with the National Health Research Ethics Committee, because we shouldn't be judged in our own case. Since by the definition of our job, we are responsible for ensuring the compliance with laws and regulations, that we shouldn't be an institution that have an IRB. So whatever research we conduct as it is now, we seek the approval of National Health Research Ethics Committee, which makes it even more superior than the institutional review board that we wanted to establish. Now, having said that, what are those researches that we have done in the PCN? And I want to start with the foremost one, which has attracted other regulatory agencies outside Nigeria, within Africa, to pay study tour to the PCN to understudy how we achieve it, with a view to also learning from it. And the first one was the one that we did in between 2015 and 2017. And I'm happy to report that Dr. Ibrahim Jato was part of that effort. The effort had to do with our desire to reposition the regulation of patent and proprietary medicine vendors. We observed that what we have on the register, as well as what we have in our record, as far as PPMV regulation was concerned, was largely different from what is in the field. Whereas in the field, everything goes in alignment with the law that established the patent and proprietary medicine vendor, which dates back to 1936. It provided that PPMVs are, one, as a gateway, are individuals who only have a capacity or ability to read and write. But in going out to the field, the caliber and people and the capacity of individuals involved with that. Because the capacity has increased, what happens in the field has gone beyond what we normally give out as drug lists. Equally too, the prescription of how you come into the PPMV operation is such that you only pick up the form, you are interviewed, and then if you pass the interview, you go in. However, what we found out in the field and what is that because of the capacity that has increased, we observed the fact that that mode of entry was no longer adequate. It would have been appropriate if people coming in this field are first of all exposed to training, at the end of which they also sit for exam, and then to be able to pick out those one who have the disposition to comply with regulations, and people with sufficient capacity to be handed over certain responsibility in addition to what they're currently doing. So we work with MSH, and MSH actually supported PCN in undertaking a study tour to Tanzania in 2015. We came back, and when we came back, we saw that what is being done there completely is better than what we are doing there, what we are doing in Nigeria, because they also have PPMVs. They call their own PPMVs Drug Sellers Initiative, ADSI, Accredited Drug Sellers Initiative. So we having recognized that what we are doing is different from, what we have as our record and in our laws is different from what happened in the field. We decided to design a study to actually pick out, give empirical evidence to the fact that what is happening in the field differs from what we have in our records. And then we did a desk review. The number of PPMVs we had on record, as far as 2015 was concerned, were just 5,000. And by the time we went to the field, the number that exists were far more than 800,000, meaning that the people that are coming forward, conditions for registration. We also did a field survey, and the field survey revealed that whereas the forms we have revealed that the people that have actually applied indicated that they only have ability to read and write. We even had somebody who was a chairman of a PPA of the Patent and Proprietary Medicine Vendor Association in a state in northern Nigeria, where the person had even PhD, but never disclosed it because the law specified that for you to be a PPAV, you should only have ability to read and write. So what he provided for us in the was ability to read and write. We also discovered that a large number, during the field survey, actually have health trend background. Majority of nurses, majority of community health practitioners are there. Now the question is, what do we do? Do we close them down? Having done it, after the desk review, we did a field survey, we analyzed the outcome of the field survey, and then we did stakeholders engagement, where we disseminated, we shared the outcome of our field survey as well as the desk review with the stakeholders, and it was found. We collected inputs as well. In terms of what the opinion of stakeholders is, in terms of what we are doing and what we have found out in the field, and it was obvious at the end of the stakeholders engagement, which started from the south. We went around the geopolitical zone, and eventually we ended up with a larger national stakeholders engagement, where the Honorable Minister of Health was also represented. In fact, the visit to Tanzania also had the Honorable Minister on the need to actually reposition the PPMV regulation. Now, in the end, it was agreed that we needed, because what we found in the field, what we found out from the field is far apart from what we have in our record and what we are using as rules for regulating the PPMVs. At the end of the stakeholders engagement, it was discovered that one, the PPMVs can be used as instrument to strengthen the health system. That the current regulation of the PPMV is not taking appropriate good advantage of these individuals. And because of the limitations of of the things laid down in the guidelines as well as the law, a lot of them are not even coming forward for registration. Because of that, the stakeholders engagement propose the need to do what you call a shift from what we were used to doing, where every PPMV is seen as a PPMV, such that they propose the fact that, one, we should have a three-tier approach to regulation of the PPMVs. Number one, the first tier should be PPMVs who, though they have sufficient education from first degree down to the highest level PhD, but who are not medically inclined in terms of their training to be phase one, tier one. Then those who have medical training, of course, but not pharmacy inclined training should be in phase two, tier two. Then the pharmacy technicians whose training curriculum has been increased and who now have capacity to even be admitted to 200 level in the universities, faculties of pharmacy, or colleges of pharmacy, as the case may be, to now be in tier three. And having done that, Bill and Melinda Gates saw that the regulation of PPMVs, from the outcome of the study we did, having improved, decided to work with PCN in the direction of piloting the outcome of the study. Or that is to pilot the three-tier accreditation. I can assure you that a lot of positive outcome has come out from the piloting activity, which we are currently doing with being sponsored by Bill and Melinda Gates under the project called Integrate E. After the pilot started in Kaduna and Lagos, it was also discovered that we could also improve the regulation of the PPMVs by introducing what you call hub and spoke supervisory model, where you have a community pharmacist taking advantage to provide oversight on PPMVs around the location where the community pharmacy exists. It was also discovered that because of the stratification tiering that has been done, that the PPMVs with health background who are on tier 2 could be assigned additional responsibility of certain service delivery. It was also discovered that now that the PPMVs have been stratified, that it will be appropriate to state the fact that to improve the additional responsibility that is now being given to them, they should go through what you call mandatory training entry point program. And in the end, the pilot has been so successful that even the national policy on tax shifting and tax sharing has now identified PPMVs as one of those private stakeholders that should be tax shifted primary healthcare services, because their capacity has now been well known, better than just ability to read and write, who are people who ordinarily should not be given such responsibility. Equally, too, the referral system of the Federal Ministry of Health before now has only recognized referral from primary healthcare to secondary healthcare to tertiary without recourse to the place of the private health sectors, particularly the community pharmacies and the PPMVs. This work has brought the capacity of the PPMVs to the forefront, to the extent that even they have now been recognized. And that has also helped us to make a case for the community pharmacies, which have all now been key or grouped into those level of care, that is the primary level of care, such that they are now also captured in the referral network as far as health referral system is concerned in Nigeria. Now, having spoken to extensively on what we have done in terms of repositioning of the PPMV through study through research work of to review what we were doing before and see the opportunities that lie, that are available for us to improve the regulation of the PPMVs. I can say that today, just other countries in the East Africa, particularly Uganda, was in GCM just 2 weeks ago to look at the outcome of our work in terms of repositioning of PPMV and where we are. Today, they have taken it to go and also pilot something in Uganda. I'm sure that the Minister of Health is also working with us to leverage on the theory that came out from this study to utilize the PPMVs, particularly the second tier, to promote issues of family planning service delivery. I want to stop on the research work on the PPMVs and move to other collaborations we've had in terms of research.
I think Pharmacist Shehu may be
Coming from
having...
different countries.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah,
am I
we
being...
just lost...
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. We also did some work with a National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development in 2019, where we try to assess the capacity of foreign-trained pharmacists. One, we discovered that majority of the foreign-trained pharmacists have capacity depending on where they are coming from. The ones from the UK present with good clinical skills. The ones from India are better in industrial pharmacy aspect. The ones from African countries like Ghana, Egypt, they have a mixture of the two, just like those that are trained in Nigeria, both clinical as well as scientific background knowledge. So that guided us to say that what we use as generic curriculum for training FPGOP, if these people will end up practicing here, it means that we have to enhance it to be able to balance the exposure that we need to give to people coming from India, who in the end may end up in hospitals but does not have sufficient clinical skills. It also helps us to pick at those countries where the clinical skills are high, but the industrial aspect is very weak, to say that, okay, we need to improve. But that also exposes us to the fact that some of the people foreign trained were also asking that they also have some component of training, like jurisprudence, forensic pharmacy, which of course is needed sometimes where pharmacists need to give evidence in court, particularly on issues that have to do with issues of drug abuse or misuse. And they felt that their preference in terms of if they have to go into practice, majority of them prefer to be in the clinical setting. Unfortunately, not all of them have the skills to be in the clinical setting. Let me also state the fact that recently, precisely at the 43rd Governing Council meeting, which was chaired by the grand patron of this group in Lagos, it became obvious that in Nigeria, siting of community pharmacies in petrol stations has been something that is prohibited. But a lot of requests have been coming, and we have also found out that in other countries, this is being allowed. So a research was now instituted under the platform of Committee of Deans, which was driven by the chairman Committee of Deans, that's Professor Margaret Afolabi, to undertake a study and see whether Nigeria, where we are now, we need to shift from that prohibition to allowing pharmacists to be cited in the petrol stations. And in conducting the study, the committee of deans decided to use the 6th geopolitical zone, divided the country and work with and conducted the studies using pharmacists from different practice area, using people in favor of the need for PCN to shift from the current status quo, in which case the filling stations have changed from what they used to be in the past, in the 2, 3, 4, 5 decades, to places where other services are now in access, and recommended the need for us to also approve for to allow community pharmacies to be established in these in petrol stations with appropriate standards, well defined. So that is another study. In fact, the report just came in last month, so we're keeping the report for the governing council to review and to approve, because they are the one that can approve such policy change. So that is another work we have done. We have also, in an attempt to keep ourselves abreast in terms of ensuring that what we do is appropriately assessed by the public, we do regular survey through our quality to assess our quality management system using our stakeholders by deploying questionnaires online. And we found out that from the collation that is being made by the quality management system, it shows areas where it has been showing areas where we need to improve, particularly areas that has to do with communication. We will also receive applause in terms of social media penetration, where we found out that we currently have more than 80% social media penetration, particularly using the X as former Twitter, Facebook, and the fact that we also do issue regular monthly updates. So we also pick some researchers from universities to work with in terms of exploration of certain areas that we consider necessary to enable us either improve the training curriculum or the training through the continual professional development program. We have done that in the last time. I think the last time we picked on 6 topic areas, and we picked Professor Ezekiel Dawabi from the University of Nigeria, as well as Professor Jemilu Muhazu from University of Maiduguri, and we gave them our staff to work with them, and now we gave them the areas of interest. One has to do with healthcare financing. We were trying to now see how we could bring it into our MCPD. Another one has to do with herbal enhancing our pharmacognosy curriculum. So we understudy the use of herbal medicines, particularly by Nigerians, and then what the perception is. We also try to explore how that is from behavioral pattern, the preference in terms of choice of foreign and locally produced medicines. We share these topics among these individuals, these professors, and some of the outcome of this work have been published, particularly one from Professor Jemilu, and even I think 2 from Professor Ezekiel Dawabi in high-packed journals. I want to stop here, and I must appreciate the Pharmacy Scholars Initiative for continually carrying on the noble objective for the setting up of this group, and to also share with you that PCN, as a regulatory body, is mindful of the fact that we cannot continue to do what we are doing, believing the fact that because they are in the books of regulation and law, without attempting to see what opportunity lies in terms of improvement of what we are doing. And that is why we have taken steps to do so many things. I started with the PPMV repositioning because that has endeared the PCN, the outcome of it has endeared PCN to several partners coming in to explore some of the benefits that have come out from that research in terms of our partner with the PCN. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all.
Thank you so much, Pharmacist Ibrahim Babashu, for this elaborate, detailed information regarding the topic role of research in pharmacy regulation. I believe you have done so much justice to the topic. This is just a tip of an iceberg, and collectively we have learned a lot. And we appreciate your time. You give us time out of no time. You are on transit. We wish you safe journey, and we'll continue to reach out to you. I believe there are a lot of thoughts that need to be further discussed. So probably we can look at the possibility of having another forum to fully digest and see how we can work together. We've been working together, but we can do more together, I believe. And thank you so much, sir. And we wish you a safe journey.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I would like to call upon the next item on the agenda is another presentation.
Thank you.
The application of social media in research. And this presentation is going to be delivered by
as we stopped here.
Associate. So as I was saying, this presentation is going to be delivered by one of our erudite scholar, Associate Professor Kayinde Obamiru from University. Yes, sir?
Mr. Morisha, I think since Babasho is traveling now, I think can we give him his certificate now?
Okay, we can.
Yes, since I think he's traveling. So I think let's just give his certificate now, and then we can continue from there. What do you suggest?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay, let me.
So I would like, it's Prof. Awesu online or?
Just give me a few seconds. Let me get his certificate.
So while waiting for the certificate
to be there, I'm already there.
Okay. Okay. I think Prof. Awesu is already on standby.
Yes.
And he is going to facilitate in presenting the certificate to Pharmacist Ibrahim Babashu for this.
Have you seen the slide? Have you seen the certificate?
Not yet. Not yet, sir.
Okay. Is it there?
Not yet.
I think it will come up now. Is it there now?
Not yet, sir.
Or can you please unmute the prof?
Yeah, I think he's on mute.
Okay. How about now?
Not yet, sir. Just now you were able to share, but it's stopped.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think Prof is there. Where is Prof?
Yeah. So
Yes, we can see this. We can see the slide now.
Oh, okay.
So Prof. Awesu, you are most welcome. We really appreciate your time in joining us. We appreciate if you can present this token of appreciation to our presenter, our keynote speaker, pharmacist Ibrahim Babashiru, for this his presentation. Thank you, Prof, for coming.
Thank you very much, the Master of Ceremony. Good morning for those who are from Australia. Good afternoon, maybe, from those who are from Nigeria. Good afternoon and good morning for others from other parts of the world. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I congratulate sincerely the Pharmacy Scholars Initiatives on the 6th anniversary. To say that PSI is doing great is really an understatement. PSI has been doing really impactful in improving research and practice in the area, in several areas, in several facets of pharmacy practice. So it is an honor. It is a great privilege for me this afternoon to present the certificate of appreciation to our keynote speaker, pharmacist Ibrahim Babashiru Ahmad. As the certificate reads, this certificate is proudly presented to pharmacist Ibrahim Babashiru Ahmed, Fellow of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria and Fellow of the West African College of Pharmacy, in recognition of his outstanding role as a keynote address speaker at this PSI 6th anniversary webinar on the 16th day of December, 2023. So, Your Excellency Pharmacist Ibrahim Babashiru Ahmed, the Registrar of Pharmacist Council of Nigeria, on behalf of Pharmacy Scholars Initiatives, it is my pleasure to present this certificate to you. Thank you very much for your great presentation. It was an eye-opener, very informative, very educative.
Thank you so much, Prof. Awesu. I believe pharmacist Ibrahim Babashiru is muted. Maybe he's still trying to accept or acknowledge the certificate. But all the same, we thank you for presenting the certificate on his behalf, and we really appreciate your time, Prof.
So thank you very much, and thank you very much, Registrar Sir, for your excellent keynote address as well.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
most welcome. Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you, sir.
So I believe we can move to the next lecture, which is on the application of social media in research. And the lecture is going to be delivered by Associate Professor Kayinde O. Obamiro, who is from James Cook University, Queensland, Australia. So I believe before he comes on board, maybe we have a citation to be read, Dr. Jato.
Yes, I think, Kankia, are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning, once. It's a pleasure to read out the citation of Kayinde Obamiro. Kayinde Obamiro has a background in pharmacy and completed a PhD in pharmacy at the University of Tasmania and a Master of Public Health at the University of Edinburgh. His research interest includes promoting an evidence-based rural health agenda, public health, particularly in epidemiology, disease statistics and disease surveillance, and clinical pharmacy. Kayinde has supported many undergraduate and postgraduate research students, as well as healthcare practitioners in improving their research skills. He is skilled in a range of research methodologies across both qualitative and quantitative studies, and he is a competent user of several software, including NVivo, Stata, R, and SPSS. He has also published in many peer-reviewed journals, including The Lancet, Lancet Public Health. He has also been successful in several grant applications. Kehinde has been involved in several innovative initiatives. These include setting up a university teaching site in an aged care facility in New Norfolk, Tasmania, and the expansion of pharmacy offerings to Launceston and Burnie campuses in Tasmania.
So,
Okay.
welcome, Professor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Basira. Thank you for that introduction. So we'd like to call Prof. Kehinde on board to make his presentation. Prof, if you are available and ready, you can go ahead.
All right. Can you hear me? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. What I'll just do is to share my slide and then we just go from there. Just give me a minute. All right.
Okay.
Is it showing for everyone?
Not yet, Prof.
All right. Thanks very much. I'm honored to be part of this event. Thanks for inviting me.
Is it showing?
And I do wish the Pharmacy Scholar initiative more strength, more research breakthrough, and more publication, more capacity building for everyone. I've known Dr. Brian for many years, and we were also contemporaries at the University of Tasmania, where we both did our PhD in pharmacy. It's good to hear the registrar speak, pharmacist and Babasheo, and it's also good to see our teacher, Professor A.T. Mora, who taught us all in pharmacy school, Ahmadu Bello University. Yeah. I'll just build on what everyone has said up until this point. So we're talking about pharmacy regulation and the role of research. And in talking about pharmacy regulation, it's always good to capture the consumer perspective because the consumer is actually a very important stakeholder because they are the end user of medications and whatever treatment that will be offered to them. So to capture consumer perspective on a large scale, part of the ways in which we can easily and conveniently do it, whether it's through survey or through participation in research, providing feedback, one of the ways we can conveniently do it is through social media, which has become a big thing these days. And I've had the opportunity to participate, to develop and design a couple of studies using social media. So I'll just share what I think the benefits are, the challenges are, talking about the methodologies and where we can go from here. So there are a couple of methodological strategies for social media research, and some of them include sampling, triangulation, and contextualization verification. So those are the challenges to using social media as a research tool. So the strategies are also linked to the challenges. So it's important to understand the sample that you're focused on when trying to design or research using social media. And sampling simply means that you have to select a representative and relevant subset of the data or user for the research question and purpose. So you have to understand who are the people who would give you the best results and how do you go about trying to engage them. And in terms of contextualization, it means you want to understand the meaning, the purpose, and the function of the data. So what that means is that some data in certain contexts wouldn't actually necessarily translate into another context. And in terms of contextualization, it helps you to be able to interpret the data properly. Yeah, so there are a number of strategies, but we must also constantly bear in mind that these different strategies also come with their own challenges too. So it's like we want to maximize the benefits and also understand the risk and also understand how to properly interpret the data we would get. So talk about tools and techniques for social media research. There are quite a number of ways to go about it. We could do things like web scraping, text mining, and we've also talked about Google Trend. We could do things around sentiment analysis, network analysis, visualization. There are quite a broad range of techniques whereby we could use, through which we can use social media as a research tool. Web scraping, I'll just talk about two of them. Web scraping means extracting and collecting data from social media websites or APIs. So what that means is that you design a programming language through Python or through R, and then you link it to a website, and then it gives you the data that you want. That's just a summary. But of course, there are advanced and a little bit complicated technique, but that's just a summary. So you just get the data from the website. Or in terms of sentiment analysis, maybe you're trying to understand how people describe their experience with a particular treatment, or what their perception is. So sentiment, just talk about perception. So if we think about the research we can do, maybe it's trying to understand perception, attitude of consumers using traditional survey, then the methodology is similar, whereby we can use sentiment analysis to understand the perception and attitude through the kind of words people use to express themselves on, say, Facebook or Twitter or any other social media platform. In doing research using social media, it's very much important to think about ethical principles. And the best way to go about it is to actually have a conversation with the ethical committee of wherever you're based or where you're working, because the ethics challenges or the ethical barrier, if I would use that word, they kind of range from place to place. In some places it's stricter, in some places it's less strict. But either way, two things, two guiding principle is that you want to be able to minimize harm and maximize the benefit of that research for the user and also for the society. And also you want to be fair. There should be justice. You don't want to discriminate or say exploit people. But by and large, it's very important to consult with the ethical committee of wherever you're based and get the advice on the best way to go about your social media research so that you don't expose consumer to harm and also you don't break the law and the order, of that jurisdiction. This is probably my favorite slide. It talks about the benefits of research using social media. The number one benefit is that it can provide access to a large and diverse population of potential participant data and insights, because the internet today is an opportunity to harness big data, because there's just data everywhere. And also, if you're using social media to collect data, you've got the opportunity to reach a wide range of people that you may never be able to reach if you use traditional approach of circulating questionnaires to people. And as an example, one of the research we did when I was at the University of Tasmania, we got up to 5,000 participants. And that was just in Tasmania alone. Tasmania population is about 500,000 as at then, men, women, and children. So this 5,000 is just adults age 18 and above. And beyond getting that huge number, we're also able to reach people in rural and remote areas, because there are places or small islands that are difficult to reach. And the Australian system uses a classification system called modified Monash model from 1 to 7. And 7 refers to very remote areas and 1 refers to metropolitan areas. So we're able to reach people in very remote areas. Yeah, and in Australia, remote can be very remote because it's a big country or continent. So social media provide access to a large and diverse population of potential participants. Also, with social media, user can generate vast amounts of content, posts, likes, shares, video, images, and all that. And one of the research we did too, we got more additional information just from the way users were able to interact with each other. It was a bowel cancer study. And then we got information just from the way users were commenting on each other posts on Facebook, because we did develop a page for that research. So things that we wouldn't have known just from conversation about colonoscopy, bowel cancer screening, we're able to extract more information. So researchers can use social media to recruit participants, conduct survey, analyze trend, test hypotheses. It's just a lot you can do on social media. And it's also cost effective because we didn't spend too much money in conducting that research, but that would have been a lot more expensive if we needed to put foot on the ground, people to travel, go by air, go by road, and they may not even be able to capture as many people as we wanted. So social media has got immense benefits as a research tool. So what are the challenges of using social media for research? I mean, like I said initially, you just want to balance the benefits and also the challenges, and also be able to provide your results or discuss your results within the context of the challenges, so it can be interpreted using that lens or from that perspective. Social media has got its own challenges if using it for research, and that borders around things like validity, reliability of the data, and these days privacy and confidentiality is a big issue depending on where you live. My advice would be that as much as possible, even though some data on social media can be defined or come under the category as publicly available data, my advice is to still go through an ethics committee before engaging in social media, before engaging in using social media as a research tool. All right, social media data can also be noisy. because you just get information, too much information overload. So you must be able to filter what you want out of that noise. Sometimes it could offer a biased view, especially if your sampling methodology, which we talked about initially, is a bit flawed or faulty. It can be biased, yeah. And in fact, social media has been used as a campaign tool in the past in some parts of the world, to manipulate people's views and the algorithm and all that. So there's a bit of challenges with using social media for research, but it's good to be able to interpret or talk about your results within the context of you're working in. Yeah. The other thing which I've tried to also touched on is around data privacy and all that. In some part of the world, it could be a big issue. So you need to read the fine print of the legislation where you're based before you use some data for research purposes. The best way would probably be to use social media as a data gathering tool, whereby you could actually get informed consent from each of the individual that will participate in that study, depending on your study design. But to get informed consent individually would always cover you if something arises in the future. So I'll just talk about example of social media research. And I've talked about one of it, which is the work that we've been involved in for a couple of years. So one of those studies came from a group that used Twitter data to explore public perception and discourse on COVID-19 vaccine. And the other one is what I've talked about, whereby we did try to assess bowel cancer risk awareness in Tasmania. So these studies, they show how social media can provide rich and timely data, because sometimes when you're doing research, time is also of the essence. Yeah. And then going through traditional means would not only be expensive, but it may take so much time to get things done. So these studies show how social media can provide rich and timely data for research, but also how they require careful and ethical design and analysis. If there's something I want to highlight from this talk is that using social media as a research tool does require careful and ethical design and analysis. So I'll just discuss the two studies briefly, and then I'll be out of your way. So the first one was around public perception of COVID-19 vaccine through analysis of Twitter content and user. So this was during the time of COVID being a pandemic. And the authors did aim to try to understand public perception about vaccines for COVID-19. And they did use wide-scale organic discussion on Twitter. It was a cross-sectional observational study, and that included Twitter posts matching the search criteria and vaccine. So there are a couple of search criteria and then vaccine. And social media is like, garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you put in, that's what you get out of it in terms of using search terms. So if your search terms are not, if you're doing a study that involves search terms and your search terms are not well encompassing, you may get a skewed view or a biased output. So this study went on from February 1st to December 11, over a period of about 10 to 11 months. So the word graph there did capture some of the views of people around vaccine Some express fear, others express joy, mystery, death, trust, anger. So it was a mixed bag. But the take home is that this study successfully explores sentiment, emotion, topics, and users demographic to elucidate important trend in public perception about COVID-19 vaccine, and to tie that to regulation to get public perception on a maybe medication or post-marketing survey or something. Social media is an easier way and even cheaper way, maybe through advertising, using Facebook advertisements, getting people to self-report on their experiences and all that. I've touched on this, and it's one study we did in Tasmania, and then we wanted to understand bowel cancer risk awareness in Tasmania. How much do people know about their risk? And we did get a number of people, many people, more than 5,000 people, which I've shared already. So we're able to analyze that data and get three publications out of it. And we spent just about $5,000. I mean, that may sound big if you convert it to, other currencies, but in terms of research or in our environment here, it's a pretty small amount of money. So from the bowel cancer awareness, we found that Facebook comment on our study page did allow for an opportunity for ongoing contact with respondents. They were able to receive feedback and address concern and also harness future research design. So the consumers were actually giving us ideas and we're participating fully in the research. These are just some of the publications that have come out of what we've done. And the other one that I didn't talk much about was the assessment of COVID-19 information overload among the general public. And it was a study that did involve Dr. Ibrahim Chatal and also Shaban, Dr. Shaban, where we did use social media to collect data. Yeah, so it's an evolving terrain, to be honest with you. It's an evolving terrain and things change pretty quickly, especially around privacy, confidentiality, and all that. So if you would use social media for research, just do consider the legislation of wherever you live, and also being able to contextualize your results and interpret it, and being able to actually sample the appropriate people. And if you go online, there are quite a number of studies that are not probably well designed using social media. So probably it's best to also seek a mentor if you want to go in this direction, so that you can be properly guided. All right, thanks very much. I think that's it from me. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you so much, Associate Professor Obamiro, for this wonderful and insightful presentation. I believe all of us have learned a lot from this new topic, novel. Of course, in this era of digital technology, I believe there are quite a lot of opportunities to explore from the social media as it relates to research, talking about the advantages that you highlighted, despite limited advantages. So I believe there are more to the presentation, maybe in the future, if you can have time. I believe we can all benefit from it practically. So with collaboration with us in the future. At your earliest convenience, we can be able to schedule another meeting to further digest the practical application of
Hello, Mustafa.
So thank you so much, sir.
Hello, Mustafa.
Yes, sir.
Now, Professor Mera is going. I think he's about to give a presentation at Karu. So I think let's present the certificate to him now.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Have you seen the slide? Have you seen the certificate now?
So if Professor Awaisu is still with us, I would like to call upon Prof. Awaisu to kindly assist in presenting the certificate to our own Professor Etienne.
Yeah, have you seen the certificate? Is it on the screen?
I know we've not seen it, not displayed.
Oh, okay. So how about now?
Not yet, sir.
I'm so well look at the issues.
Is it showing now?
No. Like it will come up, then it goes off.
Okay. So let's give it some time. So, Professor Awaisu, are you close by?
Good relationship between the students and the universities, between the universities and the
coming up.
Not yet.
Another main concept that I find here is that.
Is it there?
Yeah, it's showing.
Yeah, so Professor Awaisu, if you are nearby.
I don't know how
I think maybe Prof. Awaisu is not close by. Probably if you can proceed to present it, right? Dr. Jata.
Yes, sir.
The individual makeup of the
okay, let me present since Prof is here. On behalf of Pharmacy Scholars Initiative and all, I could say all the participants here, I'm hereby presenting this certificate of appreciation to Professor Etienne Mora. As the certificate reads, this certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Professor Ahmed Mora, BSc Pharm, MBA, FPC Pharm, PhD, FPSN, FICN, FIHMN, FINIM, OIN, and MNI, in recognition of his outstanding role as the chairman of the occasion at the PSI 6th anniversary webinar on 16th of December 2013. Thank you, sir, for all the efforts and for all the motivational support. Thank you, sir. I present the certificate to you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I wish you all the best in your presentation. Okay, I think you can continue,
your time, sir.
All right.
We wish you a safe journey back home.
Yes.
So, I think the next
is the remaining certificate, I think. Why is there?
Yeah, we are going to still present the final certificate. Okay, we still have some couple of certificates. We still have a question and answer session, so we can still hang around. After presenting the certificates, we'll take the questions for our presenters or for the platform if you have any. Alternatively, you can also drop it in the chat box, we can read out. So I would like to still call Prof. Awaisu. If Prof. Awaisu is still with us, we would like to appreciate his time as usual in presenting certificates to our presenter. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He's
So we have some other certificates to be presented as presented. So Prof. Awaisu, if you are with us, can proceed. The certificate is already displayed.
Okay, thank you very much. And again, I would like to recognize the presence of my teacher, Professor Ahmed Tijani Mora. I was thinking Professor Mora has left. That's why I did not greet him. Good morning, Professor, and good morning to all the attendees today again. It's my privilege and honor to present this certificate on behalf of PSI to Dr. Nafi Aminu for honorable achievement as PSI Best Performing Lead Author in the year 2023. For exceptional performance as a lead author in PSI collaborative research for the year 2023. Dr. Nafi Muhammad, it's a pleasure to present this certificate to you.
Do we have Dr. Nafi?
Yes, that Dr. Basira Kankia. Then before Kind, we wrap up with Kind.
Okay, the next person, again, on behalf of PSI, the certificate is proudly presented for honorable achievement to Dr. Basira Lawal Kankia, PSI Award for winning research grant for her exceptional performance in winning the first PSI External Research Grant, ACEPHAP. I'm very sorry, I'm not familiar with the acronym, for the year 2023. It's a pleasure to present the certificate to you, Dr. Basira. This is a significant accomplishment. We all know the challenges of grantsmanship and obtaining research grant from such external organizations or granting agencies. It's a pleasure to present this certificate to the
Thank you, sir. We have the last certificate to Professor Kende. Sorry for taking your time, sir. I'll present the certificate now, then you can read out as well. Is it showing?
Not yet.
Certificate has not been displayed.
Okay.
I think it's coming on board.
Yes.
It was a very inspiring presentation by the guest speaker, Associate Professor Kehinde Obamiro from Australia. On behalf of the Pharmacy Scholars Initiative, it's my great privilege and honor again to present this certificate of appreciation. And the certificate is proudly presented to Associate Professor Kehinde Obamiro in recognition of his outstanding role as the special guest speaker in today's anniversary. Professor Kehinde Obamiro, thank you very much for your excellent presentation, and please accept this certificate of appreciation on behalf of PSI.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof, for your time and presenting certificates to our presenters and our best authors and our scholar that won a grant. Prof. Awesu is actually one of the pioneer mentor of our platform. We hold him in high respect. We always reach out to him whenever we have we need his support, and he's always available to support us academically, mentorship-wise, and otherwise. So thank you so much, Prof, for your time, and we thank you. We cannot thank you enough. So thank you so much. So
thank you very much. The pleasure is mine again, and I really look forward to continue to work with PSI in several facets in terms of collaboration in whatever is needed from my side. I look for opportunities in the future to see how I will participate in your programs, even physically, face to face. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It's really an honor.
We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Dr. Jatau, Dr. Abubakar Shaban, and all the leaders, Dr. Basira Lokankia, and our facilitator today. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Prof. We really appreciate it
as well.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you so much, Prof. We really appreciate it. And I think before going into the next items in the agenda, I would like to make a special announcement. I had a brief personal discussion with the Registrar of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, and I'm glad to share with you, like, he was so inspired with our achievements and the caliber of the high pool of experts in PSI. And he said, please, he is glad and he's excited to invite PSI to explore PSI researches. And he is also inviting us for another big opportunity, which I will share with the members.
Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you so much. And then another big opportunity we just had, which he always say it, at any opportunity, he always say it, Professor. I always do that. He's always happy to collaborate with us. And sir, you will see soon us for research collaborations. Thank you so much, sir. I think we can go ahead.
You're always welcome. Thank you very much, Dr. Ibrahim Jato, for your leadership and for your inspiration. I believe you are a role model, and many of the young generation should copy from people like you in terms of your contributions, significant and tremendous, in terms of pharmacy research, education, and practice. Very well done.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. So I think we are going to quickly move to the question and answer session.
Comments. I can see Professor Malemi if you would like to say something.
Okay, before I go further, I would like to recognize Professor Malemi. Professor Malemi is the Dean of the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Bayero University, Kano. Sir, you are most welcome. We really appreciate you coming and joining us on this program.
Yeah.
Okay, so the attendance has been shared in the chat box. You can check the chat box, fill out it's very short, the survey form, so that we can be able to send you the presentation materials and of course the certificate. And if you have any feedback, we are all humans. For improvement, you can as well highlight so that we can look at it and make something better in the future. So if you have any question, I think we can start by opening the oral question and answer. If you have any question, you can raise your hand. I will unmute you. I will call out your name, unmute you, then you proceed and ask your questions. You can be very clear. Don't waste so much time, please, because we are already late. Maybe 1 or 2 questions per person should be okay. So try to also direct your question to the person, either the presenters, though the presenters may not be available with us, but we can, as a platform, we'll try as much as possible to see how we respond to you accordingly. So I will start with Dahiru Ibrahim Malemi. Dahiru Ibrahim Malemi, you can unmute yourself and please proceed with your question. If Dahiru Malemi is not ready, I can see Aminu Muhammad Murtala. If you are with us, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. If he's not there, Hassan Aikawa, you can unmute. Aminu Muhammad, we cannot hear you. From my end, I cannot hear.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Please go ahead with your questions, comments, feedback.
Yeah, it is just a comment.
Okay,
I would like to commend you, PSI in general. Actually, today is my first time joining you guys, and I really have an educative session with the board presenters. Please keep it up, and really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aminu, for that comment and feedback. We really appreciate it. So, from Hassan Aikawa. So these are the only 3 hands raised. So if anyone has any question, feedback, comment, you can directly unmute yourself, tell us your name, and go ahead with your comment or question.
Dr. Mustafa, you have many hands
Really?
raised, but while
Yes.
you try to nominate one, I'm wondering if the Registrar of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, Pharmacist Babasho, is here with us or he has left, because I will direct my questions to him. If he's not here, I will reserve my question. I can reach out to him in person.
Okay,
Is
so
he here with
as
us,
he
the
said,
Registrar of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria?
I think, as he said, he was on his way to the
okay.
airport.
So
Yeah,
we don't have Pharmacist Babasho here. But I have my second question to our guest speaker, Professor Kehinde Obamiro. In terms of his presentation related to the role of social media in research, I'm just wondering, my question relates to the ethical dilemma of conducting social media research. It's not my expertise, but my understanding from the perspective of being a former chairman of institutional review board in my university, we have had a lot of challenges, and sometimes the researchers challenge the institutional review board by saying in certain countries the regulations are not very strict, and that they are given exemption given the low risk associated with. But at that time, one of the issues that was really critical were that most of the times this is taking content from the social media, and that sometimes there were no consent obtained from those individuals where those content, they do content analysis of a data that is available or that were available on social media without consenting. So what do you think? What is your perspective in terms of taking data that exists in the social media, even if it is anonymized, even if there is confidentiality, but without the consent of those individuals? What will you say in this regard, please?
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Is Prof. Obamiro online with us?
Yes, I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Awesu. I'll try my best to address that question. I'll start with my own personal experience. So I haven't actually conducted any research on social media without obtaining participant consent. So essentially, we have used social media as an avenue, as a tool to reach participants. When we reach participants, because of that broad reach, we now advertise the research to them, and then they go through the normal route of participant information, reading participant information, and then providing informed consent. So that's my experience. However, quite a number of people have conducted research using API, whereby they tie a kind of an app to a site to gather information. So what some institutional review board have been happy with in the past is that if the participants have provided consent for the use of their information to Facebook, to Twitter, to TikTok, or whatever social media site you're using for your research. And then those social media sites have also granted you access, then some institutional review board are happy with that approach. Yeah. So it's a terrain that shifts pretty quickly, depending on what the rules are in your part of the world. Yeah. But for me, I'm most comfortable with actually getting informed consent from participants. But if you're in an area whereby your institutional review board is happy with that approach, because the argument essentially is that when you're registering for Facebook or Twitter, there's usually this lengthy user agreement or sort of agreement that nobody really reads, and it's covered by the law, wherever they operate. The organization is covered that they can use your data in so and so way. Then if they are providing that same data to other people who are conducting research with it and is de-identified, then some people think it's a good way to go. But the issue changes from one institutional review board to another. Did I answer your question, Dr. Awisu?
Yes, thank you so much, Doctor. You have adequately addressed my concerns. So I think ethical review boards have to look to it on case-to-case basis. There is no one-size-fits-all rule in terms of how they try to protect the right, the integrity, and the safety of human subjects. So I agree totally with you, and thank you very much for your insight.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Kenya and Prof. Awesu. We have really understand and learn a lot from this experience. So I think there are some hands raised. Please unmute yourself because I cannot see very clearly from here. And you tell us your name, where you're from, and straight to your questions.
Hello, good morning, sirs.
Okay. Good morning. Go ahead. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Yeah. So please, my question is, how can I be a member of PSI? Is there any anything like? Is there any requirements that I need to have to become a member?
Okay. So I will direct your question to the president. Dr.
All right. Yes. Thank you so much. So as we always said, this is a research focused forum, which is mentoring people how to conduct research and career development. And as you can see, this forum has been consistently active from inception to date, and all results as a result of the commitment we have from all members, because the main idea about joining PSI or about PSI is interest. And as you all know, research is very hard, and the only thing that moves you to conduct research is your interest. So if you don't have interest in research, definitely you cannot go anywhere. So all of our members are those who have serious interest in research. So that's the baseline requirement. And secondly, is as we said, is a pharmacy scholars initiative. So I recognize people who are pharmacists. We give serious preference to those who are pharmacists to join us. And then as you can see, most of our age brackets, we are not that, I don't want to, but we are in particular age bracket that we cannot call ourselves old. So we're like upcoming researchers. So since you have idea, you want to join us, there's a form that I just fill. So there's a feedback. So in the feedback form, just let us know your interest of joining. And then from there, we can continue with the discussion. I will share the link now. If you fill it before, can you please refill it again? Last question asks of your feedback. So in the feedback, you can add that you are a pharmacist, you have interest in research, and you really love to join our forum. Then we can take on the discussion from there. Thank you so much. And I would like to add that, yes, the registrar is around, Professor Awosi, if you are still there. The registrar is around to answer your questions and any other question that may arise. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ibrahim, for giving me the opportunity again to speak to the Registrar of Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, pharmacist Dr. Ibrahim Babashehu.
Yeah, he's around, so you can answer. You can
Dr. Babashehu, it's a pleasure to meet you. I had a question in relation to, I missed a portion of your presentation partly because of some urgency here at home. But I'm just wondering, within the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, I know that you were heading, based on the citation that was read, a unit that has to do with research and statistics. But I mean, I'm just trying to see Are there any efforts by Pharmacy Council of Nigeria in recent times in terms of strengthening collaboration between the regulatory part, between the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, the academia, and the industry in terms of strengthening different type of research that has to do with regulation or has implication on regulation and pharmacy practice as well as education? And if there are, what are those efforts? Please, if you can shed light, I appreciate.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof.
Yeah, I think
I'm not sure.
Is there. I think can you unmute him?
I think he can only unmute himself from his end.
Okay.
Well, are you sure he's there?
No, he just joined and I think he joined now and then he disconnected. But he's around. He just opened his video and went. Anyway,
Dr. Mustafa and Dr. Ibrahim, there is no problem if the registrar is not here. I will reach out to him. I'm just trying to explore areas of collaboration and areas whereby maybe some recommendations for strengthening regulatory research and how research that can be impactful to pharmacy practice and education. So there's no problem.
I think, sir, if I may say this, and I am sure I can say this without consulting my escorts, I'm very sure they will be happy to support me. Since PCN has formally and officially invited PSI to explore the research opportunities there, so I wouldn't know if we can as well drag you into this. And I think it's something that will have a very significant implication to pharmacy regulation in Nigeria. So I wouldn't know if we can include you in this mission.
I will be very happy to provide suggestions, to provide recommendations on ways forward, and whatever that will be needed of me in trying to design a network or any sort of collaboration with Pharmacy Council of Nigeria and how we can strengthen conducting research that has impact on regulation.
Oh, okay, sir. So I've already noted it, and then
I think Pharmacist Wabashiri is there.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Hello.
The network is a bit bad.
Hello.
We cannot hear you clearly, sir. I think the network is a bit bad. Yeah, the network is bad.
Sir, we can hear you, sir. Is he in the flight? Sir, we can't hear you.
We can reserve it till maybe when he can be able to have a better connection.
Hello.
No, sir, the network is a bit breaking. We cannot hear you.
Dr. Mustafa, Dr. Ibrahim, maybe if you can send a chat message to registrar.
Yes, I will do
maybe
that.
A suggestion is for him to sign out and maybe come in again.
Okay.
Maybe if you want to take more questions, it's better so that we proceed.
So while fixing that, I think we can still take more questions. If you have any question, please unmute yourself, identify yourself, and then straight to your question.
Good morning. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone.
Okay, your name, please.
Sani
Abdullahi.
I am from Sani Abdullahi Suleiman, which are popularly known as Pharmacy. I have been following this PSI from inception. I think we are part of the first program that held in BUK, which likely the presidents of the association said, likely say Dr. Ibrahim Jatau, and I had been expressing my interest to join this very famous organization since at the inception. But up to now, my application has not been granted. I'm asking this August occasions of your 6th anniversary, whether I can grant access to these very noble organizations, because I actually passionate about research, because currently I'm working with American Teaching Hospital as a senior pharmacist, which has interest in oncology, pharmacy, oncology specialist, and I enrolled my MSc likely back then, 2018, in Ahmadu Bello University, which are interested in analysis in pharmaceutical chemistry. From then, I have been trying to reach out to this for guidance and everything, and I couldn't get the access. And I likely to tell this August, this very month, I began my final MSc, and currently students of West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacy. I'm still pleading. I reached out to the president several times, and up to now, I couldn't get the.
Yeah, I think what we'll do, you can still as well fill out the Google.
No, I'm asking the
yeah. He will take note. The president
and
is
all
already
the professors are here present to hear my concern.
Yes, there is no
I'm
problem.
likely granted the access. You know, someone will just say you are part of the PSI now, and it will be. I don't have to follow another due process again. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just chip in. And apologies, and Abdullah, can you please fill up the form and at the feedback, just note that you want to join. Then, sorry, apologies. Then you will consider it. And thank you so much for your interest in research as well.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Yakub Bashir. Thank you so much, my EBU lecturer. Then when I was in 200 level in Ahmadu University, when you left. Mine is not a question, it's just a clarification. I was in one of the WhatsApp group when someone posted this program there. So one of the person there was saying this research team is only mainly for the northerners, so other people cannot be able to join. So I want a clarification on that, so that I can see so many faces which are not really from the north only. So I want a clarification from the president and my EBU lecturer. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, so I think Jato, go ahead.
Yes, yeah, thank you so much for reading this point. I think you are not the first, most likely you are not the last to ask us. So as I said from the beginning, this forum was created or was established by three of us, which coincidentally we are from the north. I am the one who initially bring the idea, and then my good friend Dr. Shaban, I consulted Dr. Shaban, and then Dr. Zayan, who we shared the same supervisor when I was in Malaysia, and then Associate Professor Gulma. So I consulted them, and these three guys happens to be from the north. And the first close people around us theoretically are those from the north. And that's how we started. And our cycles keep growing to people who are from this region. And as you can see, from the membership I roll, most of the members as well are from the north. But our membership is open to everyone who is willing to. So if anyone from the south has not shown interest to join, I don't think it's our fault to go and drag him to PSI. And any of the members you can see, all of them, the way you see Sani Abdullahi asking us to join, I can confidently tell you most of the members there bring themselves. And that's what makes PSI a little bit unique among other groups, because you bring yourself. So in as much as you bring yourself to join, meaning you have the interest. But if we ask you to join, that means the interest is from us. If we are interested in you to join. But if you on your own joined, that means the interest is from you. And I can tell you there are so many people who joined, And after so many times, those guys, we realize that they're no longer interested. And we feel like they don't have to be redundant in the group. And that's one of our major key criteria of the group. You just have to be very active to contribute, either to share knowledge or when you receive. Communication is two ways. You give, you take. So if you are giving, that means you are contributing. So if you are taking, we really want to know that you are really receiving the mentorship. But if you remain silent, we are adults. We don't know that we are telling you your understanding, and the only way we know that you are understanding what we are mentoring you is for you to tell us yes, your understanding. So that way is like it makes the platform very active. As you can see, for 60 years we have been very active to date. So back to the first point, if anyone is anyone from anywhere from Nigeria, even outside, because our PSI is open to anyone worldwide. So if anybody is willing to join and number one, interest with internet research, to share and to receive, it's always welcome. And we're always happy to welcome anyone from other parts of the country. And thank you so much for raising this, because people have been asking us. We say, okay, why are they? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yakubu. I think this is very clear. Thank you, Dr. Yakubu. I'm happy you recognizing me, and I hope you are doing very well also. I think, can we restrict questions to the presentation so that we'll give more priority to our presenters? Then yes. For the PSI related, we can keep it towards the end. So if you have any question, let it be directed to our presenters first. Let's prioritize that. Then subsequently, anything PSI related, we can as well all discuss. So go ahead, Dr.
Thank you, sir. My name is Abubakar Tambata. I'm happy you said we should restrict questions to the presentation or presenters, because mine is not a question. It's just to say hello to my long lost friend, my classmate, Professor Kenny. I usually call him Sir Kenny. So, Prof. Kenny, if you're still with us, this is greetings from your friend Nambata. Thank you. Thank you for breaking protocols again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nambata. I'm sure Prof. Kenny is already here, and he heard you so loud and clear. So next, please.
I think Nambata is the only one. I think there's a question on the chat box. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead, because I can.
So there's a question from Chabo from ICAO. I think he has been raising his hand. Most likely he has left. So I think his question is directed to the registrar. It's about the issue of pharmacy technologies who are like proliferating in Nigeria, and he's asking what his PCN is doing about it.
So maybe the
registrar. And then the second question is, maybe since the registrar is not there, I'll convey this question to him.
Yeah, with Dr. Awaisu, Prof. Awaisu's question.
Yes, and that's of Prof. Awaisu. And
I
then
also
another
have
one
I will send to you.
Another question goes to Professor Kainde, and this from Awal Usman Sadiq. And what he's saying is, my question here is, what can you say about the level of accuracy regarding the result obtained from the research conducted through social media?
Okay, so if
I think he's talking about the validity. Prof. Ken, if you're around. So what he's saying is, what can you say about the level of accuracy regarding the results obtained from research conducted through social media? If Prof. Kenny is around, then I think the moderator will have some numbers of questions that we answer before we just close it. Prof. Kenny, are you around?
Maybe before he responds, we can take questions also.
Okay, all right. Sagir Mustafa, if you have any question. Sagir.
You have to unmute yourself, Dr. Sagir.
You have to unmute yourself, Sagir.
Guys, hey, good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be with you. And actually, my question is directed towards the PCN chairman. It has to do with this, what do you call it, continuous education regarding pharmacy school and the community. And especially where the resource persons are being picked from various school of pharmacy or college of pharmacy. So I wouldn't know if it is compulsory for people that are in the academia to be part of that program. I wouldn't know. I'm just asking because there are some issues that was raised in our platform, so it is not very clear to me.
Well, I think, yeah, Dr. Jato has noted it. He will,
yes,
forward it to the registrar. He's talking about MCPD.
Oh, okay,
For
yes. So what he
lecturers,
says like
for lecturers
there
in the
should be.
university, why will they have to do MCPD? Well, most of the time they are the resource persons, something like that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And it's like compulsory for them also to renew their license.
Okay.
Certainly.
Yeah, so I think he will get.
Yeah, I'll take it and then I'll provide the answer to you, Sagir. And I think we have one more to go. Yes, one more person. I think
We'll take
Ibrahim.
one
Okay,
final
let's have
comment and then
how
we
many? Can we have two? Then that's fine.
Okay, so I will take
Then we go to
Wada.
closing remarks.
Dr. Wada, then another person is okay, Dr. Wada, start. Unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Mine is to the registrar also. It happens to be one of the hub and spoke supervisory model that was initiated in Kano. And alhamdulillah, we have been seeing progress in the model, and I want to congratulate and commend the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria for that initiative, and we look forward to widening the supervisory model to other states. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So, what are you talking the PPMVL model?
Yes, exactly. It's called the Hub and Spoke Supervisory Model, HSSMM.
Okay.
And I happen to be one of the hubs here in Kano.
Okay.
And it's a wonderful initiative, actually.
Okay. All right. That's not all right. Thank you so much. I'll still convey it to him.
So,
all right. I think that's all.
Yeah. So I think my last question. Let me round up with my question also to the registrar. He was talking about IRB, and they had attempted to apply to host an IRB within PCN, which actually was, I think, discouraged by the National Health Research Ethics Committee. They feel like they will be biased if they are to evaluate their proposals and provide ethical approval. Well, I was thinking maybe they can do it differently, like the IRB can be constituted, and it doesn't mean they are to evaluate only researches that are to be conducted by PCN. People from outside can always sort for IRB review, you understand? So I believe if they can still make attempt to reconsider, maybe explaining to the National Research Ethics Committee that they felt it is still important because they can serve other institutions, they can serve people from outside PCN. They can also, because IRB can be independent, they can invite people from different institutions to be part of the committee. So the issue of being biased in evaluating applications, I think may not be there. Unless if the PI is like the chairman, then I think there should be other alternatives. Maybe the deputy chairman can maybe chair when the PI is the one applying, you understand, just as to minimize the bias. But I feel it will be important if PCN can proceed with reapplying and getting that committee in PCN. It will reduce the number of applications that go to national and the turnaround will be faster.
I think let's Ibrahim to be the last. Ibrahim, go ahead.
Okay.
Good afternoon to you all. Mine is not a question, it's just to appreciate this effort. This is my first time joining this meeting, and it is really helpful and educative. So I would like to commend PSI for organizing this very important lecture, and I would also like to appreciate the effort of PCN. Inshallah, we will join this meeting in the future whenever it is organized. Thank you very much for this lecture, sir. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahim. So I think if you have any feedback, you can always reach out through our social media. We have email also. So once you email us regarding anything, we will be able to respond accordingly. So I think without further ado, we'll go to our final item on the agenda, which is closing remark. And this will be done by one of our own pharmacists, Abubakar Isa Musa. So if Pharmacist Abubakar Isa Musa is here with us, we appreciate if you would give the closing remark.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Mustafa. I don't know if you could confirm if you can hear me.
I think you are not audible. Can you hear him?
Okay.
No.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Yes.
I can hear him very well.
I can hear him.
Okay.
But we can't hear him from here.
So
yeah, even me.
Okay, all right. So maybe Mustafa is in Malaysia already. It's too far. Maybe that's why he can't hear me.
Abubakar, we
All
can't
right,
hear
so,
you. Yeah.
No, Ibrahim, we can hear him. I think the problem is from you and Mustafa. So
yes, I can hear him.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
Continue.
Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead.
Yeah, so
All right. So, gentlemen and ladies, distinguished guests and speakers, I would like to say you agree with me that this has been a very a good time well spent, and we've had great time with our guests and with everybody in the meeting.
Please, if you finish, let us know.
So as we draw the curtains on this insightful webinar commemorating the 6th anniversary of the PSI, I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of PSI to our distinguished speakers for sharing their expertise, their experience, and ideas. So to the registrar, from Ibrahim Babishehu, and our own Dr. Obamiro Kennedy, we say thank you. And we have a special thanks to our chairman of the occasion in person of Professor Ahmed Timora, who has steered us through this enriching session. And as we all know, he has been always there for us. We have always knocked on his doors and he has always answered to us. So, sir, we want to say thank you for your commitment and your leadership. And I would also like to thank some of our participants. Notably, we have Professor Ahmed Awesu, and I would like to tell us that he has been a strong pillar to PSI and to some of us individually. He has always participated in our activities and our programs. And I also like to appreciate the presence of the PUK DNH, who have been some partners in progress in our first and second web seminars, marking our anniversary. And to everyone, I want to appreciate your active participation, both from PSI members and from other attendees. And your presence has enriched this discussion. And as we celebrate 6 years of PSI commitment to advancing pharmacy education, research, and practice, let us carry forward the shared knowledge and inspiration gained today to further elevate our contributions to the field of pharmacy and to research in general. So here's to another year of progress, innovation, and continued collaboration within the Pharmacy Scholars Initiative and beyond. And I want to thank all of you for your engagement, and may the spirit of learning and sharing persist in our collective journeys ahead. So I want to thank everyone, and I wish everyone journey messages back to their destinations. Thank you, and over.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Abubakar Ibrahim Isa Musa, for that wonderful closing remark. I think with this, we would like to appreciate everyone and we call it a day. Thank you all for coming. See you in our subsequent programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, especially Prof. Awesu for keeping you for more than 2 hours.
No,
so
thank
much.
you all. The pleasure is ours. It's you who are making really significant strides and contribution. Thank you so much, and happy to see you all.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof. Kenny. Good to see you too.
Rest of the evening.
And I'm sure you're all friends back in Nigeria. Happy to see your face. All right. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Assalamu alaikum.